Hello and welcome to another Tuesday Talk with Ruby Reese. Shortly, we will be joined by the Cork candidate for the Nose of Tralee to talk about all things Cork. It's where we live at the moment. It's where our candidate lives at the moment, and we decided we wanted to kind of highlight some of the dog-friendly things that are around the city and county. So I know Willow's human Natasha has kindly said that she'd come on and have a chat with me this evening. So while she's waiting for me to join, I suppose we often talk about topics that might where people might have concerns. I suppose this is a bit of a lighter topic in a way. So it's because it's still worthwhile saying that if anyone does have concerns about their dog or their situation, then they should speak with a certified professional. Hello. Natasha. Welcome to the
Good evening.
Thank you very much for joining me.
No problem whatsoever, Gillian.
Would you do us the pleasure of introducing yourself?
Well, my name is Natasha. I am the human behind Daisy Boo and Friends. I set up the account just over a year ago, just over a year ago when we had our little Daisy Boo. And then I suppose about a month and a half later, we said goodbye to her, which she was 17 and a half. So, you know, she had a great, great life. But in her memory, I was definitely going to continue with Daisy Boo and Friends, and given Friends in the title, it was to cover all her other little housemates and friends that were in her life.
Exactly. I suppose that's we'll get to all of those in a second. I'm going to introduce myself briefly as well, I suppose, just for anyone that doesn't know me. I'm Killian from Ruby Reese. We set up our Cork-based company just over a year ago. Our own dog is a French bulldog called Ruby, and we set it up for her and dogs just like her that where their humans want to buy top quality products. And we have natural treats, we have shampoo, conditioner, we're now stocking toys, we have nutritional supplements, and I suppose we wanted to look for top quality and kind of pure products that are can be used with dogs that have sensitivities like sensitive skin or sensitive tummy. So that's all enough about me. Let's get back to Daisy Boo and Friends. So Daisy Boo's friends are still around and very active on the account.
Extremely
others
active. They have me really busy. So the dogs of the account are Willow, the chocolate Labrador, and Spencer, the little Westie. And then we have two little cats as well, Sheba and Sky. And yeah, I guess we love we love showing everyone things we get up to, walks we explore, just general in everyday life, what Willow and Spencer get up to mainly in our account.
Oh, definitely. And I suppose we're kind of preaching to the choir here because, on Instagram, I suppose anyone that has an active or relatively active account, you're going to realize the benefits of that. When you share something, someone else will come along and give you some advice or a tip or an idea.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's, and you build friendships, don't you? Like, so there's, I think we all know the rewards you can get from.
Oh, completely. I mean, even like yourselves, like we met you at your first market down in the Mallow Garden Show, and many moons and markets later.
I know.
We've definitely built up a friendship. So I definitely wouldn't have, I've always been involved in animals and always really interested in getting, the top quality food I can get and different accessories and things like that. But having this account has definitely opened my eyes to so much more, and so much more that's now in Ireland, which is amazing, including yourselves, because we definitely have come a long way.
Definitely. And I think Instagram's a great place for sharing, not just sharing photos, but sharing ideas, ways of doing things, concepts, information. It's just brilliant. So.
It really, really is. And definitely the friendships we have gained through all of this and continue to do so is just really good as well. And definitely is about sharing ideas, sharing things we experience, and just everything really. It's just a great platform to share everything.
It is definitely. And tell me, so I suppose Willow has to take a bit of the spotlight more so than the others in this right
She
now.
does. Yes, she does indeed. Willow is representing Cork for the Nose of Tralee. The Nose of Tralee is run by pet sitters, and this is in its 10th year now. So back, I think, when was it? I suppose it was probably the end of June. We saw it come up on our feed, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to put Willow forward. I think she's just a smashing dog, and like everyone's dogs. I mean, like we all have great pets. And I just think that the special things that she brings to our lives and our family life, I was like, you know what, I'm going to put her forward. And we went in against hundreds and hundreds of pets across the country and obviously across Cork as well. And then we were luckily enough through public voting get the top 3 in Cork. And then it was down to the judges. Then there was 3 judges, and we got picked and chosen to represent Cork. So we're very proud of her, and we've been trying to basically take on the role of the fact we're representing Cork. We want to represent and show off Cork as best as we can, basically.
Exactly. And like, honestly, you should be proud of how far you've got, because it's very, very competitive. I mean, in a positive way. I mean,
exactly.
It's healthy competition, but
exactly.
Like everyone thinks that their own dog is brilliant and could be worthy of a shot. So.
Exactly. Everyone's dog, everyone's cat. I mean, it's a pet competition. So I'm hoping like even our experience now and our little journey is going to encourage others next year to apply as well, because it's actually great fun. I mean, like talking to people, there was even a moment we got recognized. It was like, are you the Nose of Tralee? And I'm like, yeah, that's us. So like little things like that. And it's just even like within work, like everyone in work is backing me, and they're like, oh, Tash, you know, we've been out voting and we've been telling our friends and family. So it's just a bit of fun. And I think animals, whether it's dogs, cats, or whatever you have, they're so important in everyone's lives, and they bring so much joy and happiness. And you'd hope that it's other people watching, other people with pets, that it would encourage people, if they can, to get a pet for themselves, because they're just so rewarding. They really, really are.
Oh, definitely. And like we always say, you know, what you give to your pet, you get it back tenfold.
Oh,
like it's amazing.
Completely. Like, and no matter what kind of day you're having, whether it's a good or a bad day, they're just there, and all they have to do is look at you, and they bring a smile to your face all the time. They really, really do, which is amazing.
Definitely. And so you mentioned voting, so let's just get that out there in case people are wondering what's this about voting, and where can I vote, when can I vote, is it a once-off thing, do I need to go down to my local national school?
Exactly.
What's the deal with voting?
So the voting is now still open until midnight, August 21st, and the results will be on August 22nd. So through our Instagram on Daisy Boo and Friends, you can follow the link in our bio. And then obviously daily I'm campaigning and putting up different posts and reminders for people to vote, and just an easier little link. And you can also, if you're not on Instagram, you can go on to Pest Sitters Ireland and find Willow through there and vote there. So ideally you can vote every 24 hours. So obviously every vote counts, and we'd be so grateful for every vote we get.
Definitely. And I think for all that you're doing for Cork and for the pet community, I think it's definitely worth considering. I know that I just kind of set up my days now that we during my lunch break, I always try and jump on and vote, and just type in Willow on the website, and it pops up there, and you can give the vote, because you know it's always, if you vote in the evening one day and then the next morning you can't vote yet. So I just do it in my head. It works for me. That we try and make it work every lunchtime. So it would definitely be appreciated for the Cork Nose if people consider it as well.
Exactly. Like.
Very good. And just talking about Willow's campaigns, so I suppose the Instagram community has been very supportive, no doubt, and I've seen loads of the commentary going on and everything. But do you want to maybe do a bit of a pitch on why you think she should win.
Well, I think obviously she's my dog and I think she's the best, but I think just because we want to show off Cork and we want to not just say she's the Cork Nose just because she's my dog. We want to show off Cork and we want Cork to win the competition. Yeah. So what we've been doing as much as we can, obviously, whatever time allows, we're getting out there, we're showing off different walks, different little cafes or restaurants you can go to, different products like yourself. We're delighted that we have Ruby Reese. We can claim Ruby Reese as a Cork small business, so we're delighted with that, especially because we love the treats. But yeah, we want to showcase Cork and we want Cork to win, not just Willow to win, we want Cork to win. So far you've noticed on my Instagram that we've gotten out and about, we've done the Coachford Greenway, like only because we're living out this area, we know Coachford, but a lot of people wouldn't have even heard of Coachford. Yeah. So we're showing off places that we like to go to the best we can. So the other day as well, we went to Knockadoon, which is it's a stunning, stunning, stunning place. So we have another few places now. Today we did the Anglers Rest. So we definitely like the likes of the Marina Market. I mean, like that's been our go-to place from the very get-go since they opened. And even when I was saying to friends, I'm going to do a campaign now to showcase Cork and show the best in Cork. And straight away, one of my friends was like, you're definitely going to do the Marina Market, aren't you? Because she knows, like, she just is like, Tash and the dogs, Marina Market, like it's a given. So definitely the Marina Market is going to get a feature. And the Marina Market is just one of the best places in Cork to have a dog, and with yourselves down there and everything.
Exactly. So I suppose for anyone that's from Cork will probably already know the Marina Market, but maybe if people are tuning in, preparing for a trip to Cork, it's a market basically in a warehouse. So it's kind of an indoor-outdoor vibe to it, but it's dog friendly. Mm-hmm. There's loads of brilliant food options. I don't think I've ever had a bad meal down there. Great coffees and loads of stalls. We as a brand try to make an appearance there at least once a month, and we will be down there this coming weekend. So yeah, exactly. Saturday and Sundays are it's jam packed with dogs and kids and smiles and the rest of it.
And it's brilliant. I mean, like even with Top Barks down there, Dog Fest, I mean, that was such a fun day. It really, really was. And now our little doggy vending machine as well. So it's definitely a dog haven. So no, we're going to, as much as we can, we're going to try to showcase Cork to the best of our abilities. And obviously we're not going to get everything in. Cork is huge. And obviously we have a little holiday next week, so it's kind of, it's putting a bit of pressure on us, but we'll try to fit in as much as we can anyway, because Cork is amazing. And even friends of mine that don't have dogs, they're even saying, Tash, I can't wait for you just to show a place that we haven't been to or we don't know about. So from that point of view, as I said, we want Cork to win as a Cork.
Definitely. And I suppose you really hit the nail on the head there. One of the things that when I was preparing for this talk, and was kind of thinking about Cork as a destination, I think a lot of people from elsewhere in the country, when they're coming to visit, don't realise the vast size of Cork. It's the fact that it could take kind of 2 hours from the city centre to get to some of the ends, some of the peninsulas is down in West Cork. It just doesn't kind of come to mind when people are normally in counties, say in the Midlands, where you're in another county in kind of 20 minutes or 10 minutes.
Exactly.
But it's so big. So even from way over in East Cork, from right down to West Cork, like, I mean, there's so much.
Definitely. And I think like Ireland as a whole, we're definitely becoming more of a pet friendly country, which is amazing. And I think the dog industry, like, it's just the dog community has just grown so much. And I definitely see that through having an Instagram account now, because I would have been aware, but not as aware. Whereas now it's exploding. And I think definitely, obviously, with bringing more pet friendly places there's a lot of responsibility on pet owners as well. Like, we do need to be responsible for our dogs. We do need to recognize the signs of our dogs. Well, if our dogs, like, not all dogs can deal with the situation of going to sit down in a restaurant. So we need to really identify the signs, be aware of the signs that if our dog is stressed, don't bring them somewhere. And it's the same like the likes of the Marina Market. It is crazy busy there. But unless your dog is used to being exposed to different things and different situations, they will deal well. But even the best of dogs are definitely used to everything. Some days you just have a bad day. So I think we definitely need to respect if our dogs are having a bad day, and if they're stressed, we need to take them away from the situation as well.
Oh, definitely. And I think it's so important, like little and often, kind of get them warmed up to situations like this as well. Like the Marina Market has loads of lovely outdoor seating. That would be a great place to start socializing with your dog.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think we always realize how strong their senses of smell and their senses of hearing are.
Yeah.
I mean, there can be sometimes, music that we would find maybe a little bit loud, but obviously dogs hear that completely differently. So
completely different, and I think as well for Ireland to continue to grow, for Cork to continue to grow, to be able to provide a service that, yes, we are pet friendly, you can come in. We definitely need to respect that as well. And I think the more respectful I think we are, the more availability there's going to be. Because if there's a bad experience, whether it's a cafe, whether it's a restaurant, a bar, if they have a bad experience that the dog just, got upset and caused other people to be upset, they're going to stop then having it as pet friendly. So I think everyone needs to be responsible for their own pet as well, that we need to take responsibility and help this pet-friendly Ireland grow to the best it can be.
Definitely, exactly. And like, I suppose talking about that, it's so good that there's so many eateries, cafes, restaurants, everything that's kind of opening up that's dog-friendly. Do you have any favourites that you want to plug?
I suppose
the Marina Market, obviously.
The Marina Market, obviously, is our go-to. We went to the Anglo's Rest today, and I have been there a few times, but today we pushed it out and we had 3 dogs. And no, they were so accommodating. Obviously, like you have to follow guidelines. And if anyone gets stressed, if anyone gets boisterous, then definitely, you have to either go outside, but they have an indoor seating and they provide little doggy couches and everything. So it's really, really good. And we were also out in the boathouse in Coachford there last week as well. And I'd messaged her the day before and she said, no problem, come on away out. So obviously if it's going to be really busy as well, because it's quite a small area, you're not going to stay inside either, because it's just not stressful for a lot of people as well, especially if they're not doggy people or they have nerves against dogs. So you just have to, gauge the situation, I think,
Exactly. And like you say, the Anglers is brilliant. They've got top quality food, really nice different areas, kind of outside a covered area, inside great seating. So there's some great options there. I think Fionn Barras is another place in the city.
It is indeed. And then the bodega is not called the bodega anymore. Like, it's outdoor seating. They'll accommodate, not inside, but I think at the side of the bodega they have kind of a little food market, which is kind of indoors, so you can go in there as well.
Very good. And even there's quite a few places in Kinsale with outdoor seating.
So many places in Kinsale. Like, a friend of mine is living in Kinsale now and she has 2 dogs, and a lot of places you can walk in and everything. So obviously, like, if you are going to an area, either phone them, give them a message, and they'll either say yes or no. And, you just go with it. And hopefully, we can build a more pet friendly restaurants and bars in the area, because it's nice to, like, I bring my dogs everywhere as much as I can, and if it's a matter of I know we're going to eat out, I'm like, can we go somewhere that we can, or get takeaway, or look for outdoor seating as well. So you just have to do your research and get on to people. The barn, that restaurant, they provide their conservatory as dog friendly as well, and they give you dog bowls and everything. So they are
Great. And like, you'd love to see it. And it's a brilliant way as well of connecting with other people, I find, because
It
it's
is.
so easy to stop and just if you see someone that looks friendly, their dog looks friendly, it's like, oh, what's your dog's name?
Exactly.
You know, they're sitting so quietly. It's great to see it, you know, like even just that exchange. It's so nice after the couple of years we put down during the pandemic, you know.
Definitely.
That you can now connect with strangers, and I think a dog can be a great opener for
it really is, because like most people, they love a dog, and if the dog just look up with little puppy eyes, of course they're going to stop and say hi. And I think as well, from that point of view, if you're, you know, sitting having a meal in a restaurant and someone else that's there, they might own a business that they decide that, you know what, I'm going to make it dog friendly now. I saw this situation and it worked really well. So definitely, you know, and hopefully, you know, I think Cork is definitely up and coming. And I think at the moment, anyway, most of our dog walks are there with loads of mobile coffee units and little brunch bars and things like that. So it's definitely, at least we have those options at the moment.
Definitely, yeah. And even a lot of the hotels now and B&Bs are coming online with the dog friendly as well. I know.
Exactly.
The Kingsley, I think, the Castlemartyr Resort, top class places are now dog friendly. There's also a place that I've heard lots of very good things about down in West Cork on Sheep's Head. It's the Carberry Cottage Guest House that I've heard are very, very dog friendly. And, you know, so there's so much to do. And then, you know, I suppose you mentioned the parks and the forests. Do you have other favourites? You mentioned Coachford Greenway, across the way is Farron Woods, obviously.
Yeah, across the way is Farron Woods. I suppose you can't not mention Ballincollig Regional Park when it's right here on our doorstep as well. There's where else? I suppose Doneraile is a great spot. And actually, if you're up in Doneraile, I've been to the Donkey Sanctuary a few times with the dogs, and obviously that's the situation as well, that you have to be respectful, and if your dog has any issues or is any bit sensitive to any smells, like with the livestock as such, like the donkeys are like a large animal. So obviously if your dog is reactive to those situations, don't go there. But I've been there a few times with Willow and Spencer, and to be honest, the donkeys have a great reaction towards the dogs. They come over and they want to sniff and find out about the dogs as much as the dogs want to find out about them. But if the dogs were any bit, like, because I know Spencer can have his reactive moments, but surprisingly enough, around the donkeys, he's quite calm and quiet. But if he was any bit reactive, I wouldn't do it to the donkeys, and I wouldn't do it to him, because it's just not fair, to be perfectly honest.
And someone was just asking in there as well, are there any good dog spots in East Cork or the Cove direction? I was thinking Currabinny Woods, which is only just outside, well, it's only just outside the city really, but it is in that direction. And there's beaches as well. What do you think? I mean, what I would think of straight away are places like Youghal and Ballycotton.
The Youghal and Ballycotton, and then like you have oh my goodness, I'm going blank. The one that's just before Gary Voe, Shanagarry.
Yes.
That would be a really good one. And then if you actually go to Cove at the moment you can hire a private dog park as well, because obviously there's no enclosed dog safe areas in Cork. And dogs, when they're in a playing situation or just when they're in a new area, they're going to run off and sniff a lot of the time unless their recall is on point. But if they get a sniff, you know, they can explore. But you have wolf walks in Cove that you can hire. You can book them online. There's a different fee for how many dogs you have. And you can book that. And also in Cove, there's Marlow Woods, which also has a stony beach, which is really cool. So I have done a little video about that, so I will be posting that. And you have the Boatyard in Cove. It's like the East Cork version of the Marina Market, a bit smaller, but they're so dog friendly. They're all about dogs down there. Every single person that works there, they come up asking about your dog and giving pets and everything. And now they've actually just opened a mobile dog unit as well, so you can go and wash your dogs there, which worked out really perfectly for us the last day, because we got caught in probably the worst weather. I was contemplating before I left the house, I was like, will I, won't I? And of course, mid-walk, the heavens opened. We got absolutely drenched. So we went back there and I was able to wash and dry the dogs before heading home.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
It was great. It really, really was. So there's so much. Yeah, I nearly forget what's out there unless I write everything down.
Yeah, I haven't been down to the boatyard yet myself, but I'd love to go. We really want to go down. So for those of you that haven't heard of it, it's kind of shipping containers along the pier, I suppose.
Yeah, it's literally just where the cross ferry brings you over to Passage. So even if you're on that side of the city, you can hop on the ferry and you're right into it.
It's great for like coffee and different food bits and all that, and you can bring.
And they have doggy ice cream as well.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, they do. So no, it's a great spot. It really, really is.
And then I suppose that's over to the to east, and then we were thinking, I suppose, following along the beaches as well. There's some other great areas down towards West Cork.
Yeah, like in Shidani, we'd absolutely adore. I think in Shidani, it's so big. There's space for everyone, and when the tide is out, it's huge. Like, and I mean, I find when I go down there, if you're at the hotel, most people are over on the right, and that's where all the sunbathers are and all your little surfers and the kids. But I find I always go left over towards the sand dunes then and down onto that side of the beach. And when the tide's away out, like, you have the option to walk all the way right around the sand dunes, and it's just a huge area. So the dogs, like, there's enough space, I think, for everyone as such. So the dogs aren't on top of families or anything like that, and they're able to have a run around and a swim and everything. So Inchydoney is definitely one of the good spots. After Inchydoney, Longstrand is after one of the bigger beaches after that, and that's a good spot as well. Like, it's not as kind of flat as in Inchydoney. It's a bit on the slope, but it's still okay. Like, I mean, I've walked that a couple of times with the dogs, and Willow's had a good few swims there as well. So it's a nice spot to go to. Definitely.
And I was just thinking as well, another brilliant place down west is in Rosscarbery. There's a cliff walk.
There is. Yes, I forgot about that one.
I think it's Warren Strand or something.
Yeah.
The name of the other beach that goes across to.
And then you have Onahincha as well, which is further out again, but it's a good spot. But yeah, it's just, I suppose Cork is just so big. Like, you'd probably need a year to at least to try to, tick everywhere off your list, and you still wouldn't tick everywhere off your list.
That's it. And I suppose it's good if people are visiting, that they might consider just picking an area and trying to discover all that has to offer, rather than trying to do everything, because it's, like you say, it's nearly impossible. Skibbereen Market is fun. Dobby Saturday outing. Yes.
Thanks, Avril.
is brilliant.
It is.
Skull has a good market on a Sunday, is it? As well.
Yeah, so there's Garnish Island is dog friendly as well. Yes, it is, and you get the ferry across to Garnish, and even the ferry ride alone. I know Willow's been on a boat a few times and she loves the whole experience. I think she just wants to jump off though and go for a swim. So it's like, no, you stay. So yeah, Garnish Island is really, really nice. What else is there? There's just, what, I think it's just Cork is just, it's just amazing. And like, we're only tipping the iceberg, any of the few things that we're even showing on during Willow's campaign. So I think people now need to, but I think Ireland in general, I think there's so many spots, and I see that through Instagram, through other people's posts and videos, like they give you inspiration. You're like, I've never heard of that place. I'm definitely going to go there sometime. So I think definitely being on the Instagram community and the pet world is definitely showing off Ireland the best it can.
Definitely. No. We noticed it ourselves. We end up going to places and discovering places that are nearly right under our noses and we've never managed to check out. So yeah, I think we've done a lovely whistle-stop tour of kind of the things that are going on in and around Cork. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
And guys, I suppose the most important reminder here is to, if you feel like voting,
if you feel like it,
then Willow the Cork Rose would really appreciate your votes.
She really will, and the results will be August 22nd. Pets Searches Ireland will do a Facebook Live to announce the winner, and everyone's a worthy winner. I mean, all the pets that are there, we're all worthy. Like, even pets that haven't taken part. I mean, every pet in our lives is definitely, they're worthy winners of everything.
Definitely. No, it was brilliant. And Thank you again, once again, guys. And so over at PetSittersIreland.com, you can vote for Willow. You can follow Natasha and her whole animal family over at Daisy Boo and Friends. If you're not following us, we're at Ruby Reese Official.
And if you haven't tried any of the treats, get the treats.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Thanks so much, Gillian.
Thanks a million, Natasha. Appreciate it.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.